it's going to be a little bit different. Well, not different to usual, but just different. I will have you in all sorts of different scenarios and situations. But let's start with what you already have encountered yesterday and the day before. So stay there with your legs long. Put your hands on the floor above your head. How's that going? Is there anything different to when you first did this a couple of days ago? Leave your left hand where it is and bring your right hand down beside yourself. And now move yourself in such a way that the legs stay long and you have your nose directly pointing to the left hand above your head. Move yourself in such a way that the legs stay long and you have your nose pointing directly at the hand above your head. Nope, it's pointing this way. The hand is there. Nose, hand. No, it's pointing this way. No, it's pointing at your elbow. How on... Did you ever learn which way your nose is really pointing? Has everybody ever told you that? So, you know the story of Pinocchio and telling lies, yes? When Pinocchio would tell a lie, the nose would grow exponentially long. Would your nose touch your hand if it grew? Yeah, some of you are taking that right finger and going, yes, that's the direction. Notice which side of your back is arched. Come back. Now, if you were to stand 1 foot, if you were to use one leg to assist you, which leg would you use? Go ahead. There it is. Come back. Switch which hand is on top above. Bring the other hand below. And try out the same thing on the other side. Legs long. That's it. Now, would it be possible for someone to wobble your legs? Would it be possible for someone to just wobble your legs as you look with your... There we go. Yeah. There we go. That's nice. And if that's possible, that means you're not contracting. You can actually wobble your own legs. You can take the toes together, apart, together, apart, together, apart, together, apart. Just keep that rhythm going. Bloop, 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 bloop. And then start to take your head in the direction of seeing your hand. Bloop, bloop. And if you can keep the legs free, that means mostly where you're organizing yourself from is your trunk. And you're not pushing the floor anymore with your legs. Because all of us will do the thing that we know. And if we know to push the floor with our legs, we will push the floor with our legs. Until some crazy person comes along and say, can you wobble your legs, please, and do this? There we go. Yeah, notice how, yeah, that's good trunk organization. All right, stop, rest. So that was a tactic. Highly technical name called wobbling. Sorry. That's also a form of oscillation, right? You oscillate. You oscillate, you set up a rhythm, a constant rhythm, and you keep noticing, does that rhythm get changed? Does it get interrupted? Does it get stopped? And if it does, you know you've done something to stop it. Something has contracted to stop the rhythmical oscillation. Okay. Bend both of your legs, stand your feet. Put your hands and arms in a bridging position. Use whatever props you need. Create whatever circumstance you need to create. Create whatever circumstance you need to create to help you to do that. If you want, you can lift the pelvis high up in the air, which will change the relationship of your chest to your arm. And now, move your head through the gap underneath the right arm, return, and move your head through the gap underneath the left arm and return. And think to yourself, as your head goes under the right arm, how high from the floor can that right shoulder get? And as you move your head through the gap underneath the left arm, how high from the floor can the left shoulder get? And there's one very good way to get the shoulder higher, to push with the hand, to use the arm. Now you see, I said something I didn't want to say, to push with the hand. I didn't want to say that. Damn. Yeah, that one. Because the idea of pushing with the hand might set up a certain set of tensions in your shoulder blade that actually stop you. But if I say use your arm, you might find something different. The legs are bent, unless of course you don't want them bent. That's fine. Comme ça. Oh, okay. Oh, don't worry, we'll be doing that variation tomorrow or the next day. Okay. Yeah. That's okay. You're just ahead of the game. You might find that one hand lightens in its contact, especially if you go fast. It's a major vestibular disruption. Stop, rest. Leave your left leg long, bend your right leg, stand your foot. Put your right hand into a push-ups position. And do what you just did, but only to the right. That's it. Now, notice that there's a relationship between the right hip and the right shoulder. Both of them get higher from the ground. Notice also there's a kind of correlation between what the right arm is doing and what the right leg is doing. Put that left arm anywhere you like. That will enable you to get the right hip and the right shoulder as high from the ground as you possibly can get them. And some of you might start to feel that the whole left side of your body begins to leave the floor. The left side of your body. That's it. Yeah, your pelvis just left the floor. What about the shoulder? Could the shoulder leave the floor? Oh, you're going to try? Yeah, try it. You should try everything. Yeah, that was a good decision. Matter of fact, why don't you see if it's possible to slide that right arm behind you as you lift that, as you lift that left arm behind you as you lift the shoulder. There we go. Yeah. Can you take that right arm and left arm and put it right behind you as you lift up? There we go. Yeah. Boom. Hello. Yeah. There, that's it. And when you start to get an inkling of that pattern, it's almost as if you don't have to take your head intentionally through the gap. It just kind of goes there. Yep. Kind of just falls back there, right? There we go. Nice. Stop, rest a moment. And this is one of those instances that rest is quite a nice word. You really can just simply rest. Over the years, I've found it quite important with the people I work with, i.e. performing artists, to really convey to them that doing Feldenkrais is not an absence of work. It's not just this kind of lolling around process on the floor, that it can be quite vigorous and the muscles can contract quite a bit in some of the movements that you do. But that is a different thing to strain, which can also mean effort. Effort and strain are the two back pockets in the same set of trousers. Same thing. When the work is disorganized, you feel effort, you feel strain. When the work is beyond your capacity, in other words, the muscles quite aren't strong enough yet, or you're using small muscles to move big parts of yourself, the experience is effort and strain. So then what needs to be learned is going at a rate that those sensations never appear, where you never experience effort. You experience work, but not strain or effort. And for a lot of the dancers that I work with, that's not what they're familiar with. Yeah. But work is not a dirty word. Please leave your right. Which leg did you have long? Left last time, yes? Yep. Leave your right leg long, bend your left leg. Have your left arm in a bridging position. And now begin to lift your left hip joint and your left shoulder joint higher from the floor. They're two very specific locations, the left hip joint and the left shoulder joint. Lift them higher from the floor, which means they'll get closer to the ceiling. And if you need to adjust the position of your left leg so that you can perform your intent even better, do that. If you adjust the position of your left arm so that the performance of your intent is even better with less strain, do that. And some of you might find that there's a moment that instead of rolling, the right-hand side of your body lifts off the floor and swings backwards because you're suspended by the power of your left leg and the power of your right arm, left leg and left arm. Yeah. So you kind of like swing. You kind of like swing underneath there. There we go. So the movement itself starts to become a different experience, not so much rolling to the right, as it is rolling to the right until the friction disappears and then you swing behind, which is a really strange sensation for some of you. Yeah, that's nice. Whoa, Sue, good stuff. How's that? How's that wrist of yours? Good. Yeah, nice. Nice. Good, let that be. Pause. So for a moment in time, you were just like a suspension bridge. You have one end at one side of the river, another end of the bridge at the other side of the river, really solidly into the bank. And then the rest of the bridge is suspended from those two pylons. For some of you, that's what you just did. You lifted that left shoulder joint and that left hip joint so high that the rest of you just suspended around your leg and your arm. Please bend both of your legs, stand both of your feet. Put both of your hands into a bridging position. And now go ahead and take your head through the gap underneath the left arm and then underneath the right arm, and draw on your experience now to do that. You've just had a whole new batch of experiences. What is useful for you now? There we go. Yes. Yes. There we go. Notice the push of that right arm just then? That was really good. Yeah. That's it. There's the right arm pushing. Beautiful. Actually, there'd be a better way to say that. There's the left elbow straightening. Yeah. Yeah, look, your left elbow just unbends, unbends, unbends. Because the more you lift that shoulder up, the more the elbow unbends. Okay. Let that be, please. Rest yourself completely. And because we started off with each other sitting in a chair, that can be your reference now. When you return to sitting in a chair, what will be the experience? Especially if you have the intent of, I want to be in a better posture, will you be in a better posture without you having to try, without you having to take yourself there? So please roll to one side, go to a chair, have a seat, and notice what it is that you feel like sitting now. This is musical chairs, right? Where'd my chair go? Oh, so it disappeared. I'm sure someone's taken a chair away. Is it different? Yes, no? Okay, so now that you've tasted that, please return to your partner. And on day one, I said we'd be doing a series of lessons that are actually important for you as an FI giver, and they are, because if you go to handle somebody and you don't have a sense of your own support and your own uprightness, and you're handling them like this, that's a very different experience. And of course, if I go, oh yeah, gee, self-use, yeah, oh, then all of a sudden you've gone too far. You're actually tensing up, and then your sensitivity. So there's something about gradually making your uprightness and your own internal support more and more, quote unquote, organic, naturally happening. That's important to being a teacher, so that my compression doesn't dull my sensitivity, so that I can be in a state of lightness as I move her. Yeah? That's the beauty of these really clear one and other direction, sagittal plane movements. It gives you a different sense, helps you to work. So now, off you go, same process, see what's different, both in you and them.